Okay, so earlier today, BoxyCharm hosted a Zoom masterclass with the famous Natasha Denona using the palette that she put together specifically for BoxyCharm. This video is going to be me following along, creating this look. Full disclosure, the only Natasha Denona products I have are right here. And this is what I got in my BoxyCharm. But after seeing her, she's lovely. After hearing her story, after just using these products and hearing about all the love that she puts into her products, I definitely want to buy more. I definitely want to support her and her business and what she stands for. And I'm out of breath because I don't have a chair and I'm like trying to squat and my legs are starting to burn. So make sure you like this video, subscribe, comment, follow along, create the look. You could use similar colors. I'm definitely going to be trying to recreate this. First you're going to see me, and then you're going to see her and me following her, and a couple times my kids get a little loud, so I'm going to try to mute those parts and just type whatever info you need to know. Okay.
On the comments if you're excited about this class. Purple hearts.
I don't know how to do purple hearts.
Subscribe, BoxyCharm. I love that. Woo!
I don't have Natasha Denona products. They listed everything she was going to be using, but I just don't have all that stuff.
Where are you from? Where are you watching us right now? I want to see.
I can't multitask.
Mexico, Venezuela, Florida, Colombia, Houston, Texas. Oh my God, this is going so fast. Chile, Miami, Maryland, Panama, Honduras. Yo, this is a lot. Wow, Michigan, New York, Coconut Creek, Mexico, Colombia, San Francisco, Galapagos Islands. Wow, Germany. Hello, everybody from everywhere. This is amazing, y'all.
See how long my kids are going to cooperate.
Medellin, Colombia, Hueva. Canada, Florida, Buffalo. Yo, this is amazing, y'all. I'm so excited. Hey, Miami, baby. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's it up a little bit. Hey.
Talk about height.
Oh my God. Who is she? Look at her. I subscribe. That's why I get that good makeup. Hey.
He is a mess. Oh my God.
Like, I can literally listen to it whenever I'm doing my makeup and I'm like...
Yes, and you're getting us hyped too.
Subtle, you know, and then I'm like, who is she? Look at her. I subscribe. Woo! Oh my God, I am so excited to be here, Charmers.
Elf Acne Fighting Foundation.
How... Now, next thing. If you have been loving and you have your Natasha Denona palette, we do, and you're ready for this class, leave me up orange heart in the comments. I want to see orange hearts in the comments right now. Orange hearts. I see Lily, I see Julissa, I see Avi, Jessica, Candice, Miriam, Sylvia. Y'all are all ready. I love this thing. Hey. Okay, yes. Ooh. How do we do the heart? Honey, it's one of the emojis. Get the orange heart, you get that.
I'm glad somebody asked, because I wouldn't be the only one who doesn't know how to do it.
Natasha, she's looking at us. She's going to be joining us soon, y'all. I'm so excited. I am so excited to be here. I had my cafecito this morning. Do y'all have your cafecito or your tea? Let me know in the comments below.
Cafecito. I need to get a hot shot for my cafecito.
Perfect. Hey.
This is going to be a makeup lesson and a Spanish lesson all in once.
Oh my God. Who is she? Look at her. I want to do a quick intro because let me play this song again.
You gonna play it again?
I'm like, I'm so excited. This song gets me going. Let's see, it's Charmers. Okay, so Charmers, as you all know, we are super excited to have you all here, you know? And one of the things that we're going to be doing today is, besides learning an amazing master techniques with the queen of makeup herself, Natasha Denona, we're also going to be doing a giveaway. And it's a selfie giveaway where you Charmers can participate within 6 months. Actually, let me see, Corey, can you show the little, there we go.
Careful, Mari.
You can see the spotlight of the video, so you can see exactly. We're going to be having a giveaway where you get a chance to get 6 months of your BoxyCharm subscription. And all you gotta do for this giveaway is take a photo right now. Because you need to take 2 photos. One at the beginning of the class and one at the end of the class. And I'm gonna be repeating later this so y'all can remember. But remember, you have to take a photo right now, and you have to take a photo at the end of the class.
So I'm gonna turn you off so I can take a photo right now so I can enter the giveaway.
To that, like all this prepping and makeup and playing with makeup, I was so much into this. Sometimes even more than the dance itself. And then I started modeling as well when I was 18. So it just led me into the world of fashion with the background of photography, of chemistry a little bit, you know, like unconsciously. And then, so all of this, when I was pregnant the first time at 25, it was pretty early. And it was, I kind of decided to step off modeling, and then I wanted to go into interior design, which I'm a big fan of. If I wouldn't be a makeup artist, I would do this definitely. So, and then my husband said, like, don't you want to do makeup? Be a makeup artist. You're so good at it. You know, I was doing my own makeup as a model on fashion shows. I love doing it. And I started with that, and then you know. And I worked for so many years, like for 25 years.
Yes. So do you feel like there was a certain point? I mean, obviously your husband must have been a big push for you to go in the direction of starting your own brand. But was there a time before that you kind of, something clicked, like maybe I should be doing something different, or maybe there is more? Was there a point?
Of course, I'm always into not being just a straight simple makeup artist. I'm always into research and lighting and textures and different features. And I started teaching, so I'm actually autodidact, self-taught makeup artist, and I'm always analyzing. My mind doesn't stop, like digging into knowledge and reasons and logic and all of these things all the time. So I was super curious about developing my own textures, and I had so many ideas of colors and textures when I was experimenting on sets. And when I started teaching, this even made me think more and question more, because I had to show products to my students that would be super helpful for their start. They will need all the textures and all the colors for starting as a makeup artist, you know. So, and there were so many things on the market missing, in my opinion, then, and I felt I have to mix, like, you know, the professional pigmentation with something that is super easy to use, so it can just be mistake proof as much as it can. So this was like the main idea when I started off with the brand, and I wanted to create formulas, and all formulas are made from scratch by me together with chemists, and it was my idea, like taking all these, you know, professional kind of high payoff, high pigmentation raw materials together to create formulas to balance it out, that it will be like kind of easy to use, which is like the hardest thing in cosmetics chemistry. And we didn't know that I know how to do these things, so we went to the lab in Italy and tried out how I can maybe even make it and to create something like this, and it works. And this is it.
That's so awesome. So awesome. Do you feel like you have a muse? Like, is there anyone that you have worked with before in terms of, you know, you being a makeup artist and doing makeup on other people that became an additional source of inspiration in terms of how you create products, or what type of products you choose to create, seeing those as though you
totally
find gaps
yeah
already?
my students and my clients completely, because I'm a super listener. When I was doing makeup, it wasn't always only about fashion makeup. It was also beauty. At the same time, I love working also with private clients, because it's different, it's dynamic, and it's not boring, because like on set, you can sometimes do like super simple, basic makeup and then crazy avant-garde makeup. And then you have these private clients that you have to deal with. They're not models. And most of them are not perfect. And you have to know how to make them look beautiful, and it has to be long-lasting. And they invited me and booked me because of my beauty fashion looks, and they wanted to have that privately. And this was also very hard to translate this to their faces, and it has to look good. So I was experimenting all the time with private clients, like everyday people and models at the same time. This is like, I'm in love with that, because everything that seems complicated and you have to crack the formula, I'm there. So I was super inspired by my clients, super much. I'm sorry to say, I have to see it also. How can we do that? I'm sorry, I'm seeing only myself.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, good.
All good. So I guess like through using your clients and your students as muses to figure out what you're going to create next, do you ever run into periods of frustration where it's like, I know what I want, but like even thinking about chemists being involved, but I can't get it to appear the way that I need it to before it's ready to go to market? How important is that to you even as well?
The most important. It's my everyday struggle with everything. It's so hard to create something from scratch, because you really don't know if it's going to work or not. And you kind of... the problem with my personality, with my character, is that I don't know if it's a problem, but I like to dare. I'm not afraid, and probably it's a minus, but it's also a plus. So I'm just going with the flow.
That's awesome. Honestly, some of the most beautiful things in terms of projects, that things that people are able to come up with, I feel come from just going with the flow, but like leaning into who they really are, and what really inspires them.
I'm trying. Kind of when I feel like situations are kind of might influence me with what happened with the last campaign and with the last launch, and like things like that, and then I'm losing like the original, like the unique touch, So I'm kind of considering, I'm learning also. You always have to learn in life, from everything, all the time, from your mistakes, and also from the good stuff. But never leaving your base, like what you believe in and what you are. And this is, I think, the most important thing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I guess what other advice on top of that, like, would you give someone that may specifically be starting out in a career of wanting to become, a professional artist, or someone that just has their own line and having something that belongs to them? What advice would you give them?
I think they have always to look at what they want to do. If they have like this unique idea of their own, and they should push it through. To listen to advices is good, but balance it out with your ideas. If you have like your unique, original ideas, go for it, because these are usually the things that are successful. And then just learn and listen a lot. I would never recommend thinking that you know it all. That's a mistake. There's no one like this on earth. And just really also stay humble. I believe in that, like, energy wise. It's not something that is just like, it's just a belief. And always stay professional. It doesn't matter how famous you become, how successful you become. Always stay professional and down to earth. And stay a hard worker, and be nice and friendly to people.
I love it. I love it, and I feel like that definitely says a lot about you.
As Yadi would say.
I love it. In the industry, and things like that. So I agree with your advice, and I even take it on as part of my own journey. In terms of where I see myself and want to be. So that's awesome. So I want to get to some of the fun stuff. I want to talk about products and what are some of your favorite products from the line that you like using, or that you've liked created. It's probably all of them from hearing the way that you talk about, how much you put into everything that you create. But if you had to choose, what would you say?
That's not nice.
Top three? Maybe with the top.
Oh my goodness! I can tell you what I'm using the most.
Careful, Mari.
Okay,
Careful.
The most. That's like,
Okay.
okay.
That's good.
So I don't have it here right now. I am using the most the Viva eyeshadow palette, the Bloom face palette.
Love.
Yes, and my Natasha. I need a new lipstick. It's not this one. It's not the shade, but it looks kind of similar to this one. These are like my 3 essentials that I really like. And of course I have also the foundation I'm using and the concealer every day.
Careful.
And, but
Mari.
these are like the highlights.
Those are your
But I
highlights.
really love all of them. It's really creative.
Be careful,
all of
Mari.
them. And there's a reason why I'm creating them, not because I have to, because I want to. So it's, you know what I mean? So you cannot really choose something. It's like really like having all your babies and then choose one.
I know. I'm restating all of them. You're absolutely right. So, our charmers have received actually quite a few products from you in the past, different boxes, different products, programs, etc. Can you talk a little about specifically the Peak palette and the inspiration behind it before we kind of jump into letting you take over and show them?
So Joe and we want to kind of create something really specifically and unique for you guys, for all the charmers, and an exclusive launch. So since this box has launched in fall, so I wanted to do a combination of introducing my formulas and thinking of picking my formulas that are the best everyday essentials formulas together with the combo of fall inspired shades. So I've handpicked these shades, which are a mixture of different eyeshadows from different palettes that are part of them also limited edition, and you cannot get them anymore. And we have manufactured this palette. Also, the packaging is really unique. It is a color that we exclusively created for you guys. And my favorite metallic eyeshadow that is just a must for everyone. It's just the most crazy, amazing shade. This champagne huge shade that is just crazy on everyone. It's just, like this.
Look at that reflection, you guys. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. I mean, the whole palette is gorgeous. Like, the color story, it screams fall. It makes me want to have like a some sort of like latte or something in my hand. So as I'm doing my makeup. So gorgeous.
And look, it can be also a little bit muted and cool tone, and then you can also warm it up. You can use the metallic eyeshadow to glam it up for the evening, and then go only using these for the everyday. It's just, I try to create something that is super essential and very much fun for the season.
I love it. Well, will we be expecting more Boxy exclusives in the future? Can we? Little sneak peek? Yes. Yes. I know we love to hear that. We love to hear that for sure. So more to come on that. But I guess you could tell us what kind of look you're going to walk the charmers through today. And then I'll let you get started. I don't want to take up too much of their time because I know everybody's super excited for you to jump right in.
I'm waiting for this. So I'm going to do a smoky eye. I want to talk a lot about tips and tricks and eye shapes because I think that many people will want probably to know, like how to deal with building up eyeshadows, and I love a dramatic eye. So it's very hard to create a dramatic eye when you don't really know where to stop with the dark shades and how to blend which direction, you know, like all these things. So I just want to really go deep into technique, and which is super helpful in my opinion. And yeah, so let's start. Maybe I'm gonna do a halo eye. Yeah, and then in the end we'll pop it up with the metallic eyeshadow. Okay.
Awesome. Sounds good. Let's start. Without further ado, everybody, I'm gonna hop off and let Natasha take over.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Quiet.
Okay. So wait, you are helping me here. My team is helping me here with the screen. Okay, perfect. I can see myself better now. Okay, guys. So first of all, I'm super happy to be here with you. I feel like I have a private chat with you guys now. Is it a little blurry? Really? I see myself like really sharply.
Quiet.
Is it okay now? Can you answer me? Looks perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. So let's start. So first of all, I don't know if you want to know, but I will tell you what I'm wearing on my skin. I am wearing the Foundation X Plus actually, which is not so much foundation that you got in one of the boxes. Wait, it's overexposed. Oh! So this is the foundation that you have in one of the boxes. I'm wearing this usually when it's very hot and humid, and this is a matte foundation, and it looks super natural, blurs out pores. I love it. Right now I'm super dry, so I'm using the Foundation X Plus. It has high coverage and a little bit more moisture. I'm number 40N if this interests you, and I've used also the Transfix concealer. I always use number 13 to neutralize my dark circles, and then I'm blurry again. Oh my gosh, really? You love the concealer? Okay. Oh,
Careful.
a lot of people see me blurry. Oh my god, why? Oh, a lot of people just also see me fine. So I will just continue, and I hope it will be okay. Okay. The other shade I'm using is number 8R, which is to highlight the under eyes. Okay, this is super long wearing and covering. Okay, I'm wearing also the contour sculpting powder. Pretty naturally. This is number 1. I'm using the number 2 usually when a little bit darker. We have 5 shades of this until we have the deepest shade as well. So for super fair skin until deep, we covered all skin tones with this product. And I have a little bit of cream blush of the Blue Face palette on my cheeks. I will show you later on how to create a really beautiful glow with it. I feel a little bit shiny, so I'm going to use a bit of powder. Many times I'm not using powder at all because I like my skin to look fresh, but now I feel a little bit hot. You thought that we're doing the foundation? Can you start with eyes and do the foundation later on? How do I use powder if I'm wet? When you have dry skin? Oh, you don't have to use powder if you have dry skin. You don't have to use powder. I have dry skin on my sides of my face. I have combination skin, so on my T-zone, I'm pretty oily, and sometimes I'm like kind of shiny, and then I have to use powder. But if you have dry skin, you don't have to use powder at all. Okay. So guys, I want to start with the eyes. I prepped my eyelids with my eyeshadow base. So can you move on and prep your eyelids with any base that you have? Even if you have concealer or foundation, something that can just, give you a clean canvas to your eyelids, and don't use any powder to set, because I like the eyeshadows to stick to the base, and then you show the pigment. Okay, so I will start. You ready? Okay. I'm picking like a medium blender. Good. And the first eyeshadow I'm picking is in Jasper. This is, no, sorry. I'm picking, sorry. Uno momento. I'm going to take out this one. This is kind of the, like a medium light shadow.
Careful, Mari.
I'm pressing this onto the outer corner, like exactly where my fold is. And I'm using these tapping motions. Do you see that? That's your favorite? Okay. I love this color. It's such a beautiful color. And what I'm doing, you know that I'm looking at myself with my open eyes. That's a very good tip to know how to apply your first eyeshadow and where, because you want to lift your eye with these type of shades. You know, the medium shades are the ones that you place mostly like on your outer third of the lid, a little bit above the fold. Now, if you have hooded eyes, it's really great to work with this technique, because you can really see that once it passes the fold, afterwards with the blending, it will just lift your eye and your lid. So that's a very good tip. Now, if you have, have these open lids, so you can just work, tap, tap, tap until you get to the crease and you can stop if you don't have a fold. Okay, so what is very important to know, that if you have like older lids like mine, and if you don't feel like moving around, your skin just moves around when you want to blend, you can just use the technique of just, buffing it onto the lid. Now I'm just checking with from close that I won't have any creasing. So if I do, then I'm kind of just buffing a little bit, packing a little bit more of the pigment onto the crease. Okay, so I'm taking the same shade now into the inner corner. What color? This one. Now I'm packing this onto the inner third of my lid.
Oh, we can see you.
But leaving the inner corner without anything, because there I'm going to place something else later on. Just pressing this in. See that? It looks weird in the beginning. But, many times these techniques, professional techniques, they look super weird in the beginning. It's so funny. Sometimes I had these clients, they were like looking at me like, what is she doing to me? Thinking like, oh my god, where did I come to? Which makeup artist? It was so funny. And I told them, and I got it. I saw that they were like thinking, oh my gosh, what is she doing? And I think, don't worry.
Okay, so I don't know what you want me to do.
But it's going to be nice. Okay. So I was buffing this. You see how weird it looks? It doesn't matter. We're going to get to it.
Oh.
Now, we want to connect both corners. Sorry.
Mari. Mari. Put it back.
Fold. Or, we trust you. Thank you. We want to connect both corners above the fold. Now, if you don't have the fold, you just place the eyeshadow in your crease. And you can still work with your open eye. Okay? You don't have to close your eyes all the time when you're working with the eyeshadows. It's very helpful because we can look at ourselves in the mirror and we can really see how actually everything turns out. And the placement is more correct when you work with opened eyes. Of course, you have to close your eyes sometimes, but this will do later. Okay, so I'm connecting both corners again. And I always like to take enough of pigment. I don't like to work with a little bit of amount of product because I want it to be long lasting, right? So I'm always like going in and picking more and more. Tap, tap, and then. And if it looks a little bit too much right now, it does. Don't worry. The blending technique afterwards will come and everything will be very homogenic. So cute. Okay, let me just check from close because I don't see myself really well. Okay, I'll fix a little bit. Okay. Great. Now we'll take the shade to blend with. And this is Aya, the lighter one. Of course, you can use this also to highlight your brow bone if you're like a little bit darker than me or much darker than me. Then this is an amazing highlighting shade. But if you have like lighter skin, you can use it also to blend. You can also mix both. You know what? Let's mix both. Let's mix both. So when you mix eyeshadows, you just tap, tap, tap in one and tap, tap, tap in the other, like twice, you know, tap, 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 tap. Okay, and then we're placing the brush on the upper border of the previous eyeshadow and kind of circular motions, working upwards and in, just to soften the finish. Okay, and also with the same brush. You don't have to the same brush. It's just a blending brush, medium size. Now, what is super important that this blending is really already above the fold or above the crease. This is super important. Otherwise, I will look smaller and the lid will look, drooped. So it's really important.
That's not candy. What is that?
Of the medium.
Okay, so she's saying to leave this outer portion blank so it gives you a lifted effect. She said if you don't have a lot of space between the top of your crease or above your fold towards the inner bridge of your brow, then you can blend up to the eyebrow and that's okay. If you have a lot of space there, she's saying you can use a bronzer to reach the top, but don't use the eyeshadow to reach all the way to the top. But you always, no matter what, want to keep the outer portion clear.
Too high with the eyeshadows sometimes, then automatically the eye appears smaller. So everything has to be proportional. You just follow your natural shape of the crease. Okay, so I hope this was super helpful, these explanations. I don't hear many people talking about these things, and I think it's so important. Okay, I hope I'm doing fine. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I just covered everything. Sorry. Okay, and now I want to go in with a black and brown pencil. You can also use an eyeliner. It doesn't really matter. I just want to give, like this drama to my eye. So, this is one of the pencils that you got in one of the boxes. That's the black pencil. I'm going into my waterline. But you don't have to. You can also do just, your outer part of your lower lash line. Just the outer third to thicken it. Okay, and then we're moving like upwards. Now, when I'm moving upwards from the corner of the eye up to the fold, towards the fold, this angle is always slightly higher than this one. I never go like straight. It will always make your eyes appear drooped. And then when I went up, I'm going back and connecting it with the outer third of my upper lash line. You see that? I'm going straight to the outer third of my upper lash line and filling in. Now we need to close our eyes because You can also do it like this, and then you can see yourself. You can stretch your eye. You can see yourself without closing your eyes. That's also possible. Okay. Well, you know what? I won't fill in my waterline. Let's keep it like this. Okay, other side. Again, outer corner.
It wasn't so cool that opened the spider.
And then going up, and then connecting, stretching, and then connecting with your outer third of the upper lash line. It's like a V shape. And then this line should be really straight. And this will give the appearance of the eye being lifted and stretched. Like a good trick. It doesn't look that artificial. The lift looks like it's natural. Okay. And then what I like to do also is using okay, now what I like to do when you have like wide set eyes, when you have closed set eyes, don't do that. I'm filling in the inner corner, the inner waterline. It's like an inner V. And this gives the appearance of like cat eye, you know, and very subtle, like a forceless cat eye. Kind of filling in here. And you don't really have to connect this. Like these corners don't have to be connected. We're going to connect them with the eyeshadows. Closer to the camera. Okay, so I went like in here into my upper waterline and the inner one. See that? Like my eye got this stretched appearance. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to smudge it now and set it with and blend it with eyeshadow. Okay, now guys, thank you. Okay, now guys, we're going to take a smaller brush than the previous one that we used. It can be a flat blender, it can be a precision brush, or anything smaller that you have. I'm going to take my number 5 if any of you might have my brushes. Dipping this into the darkest shade. That's the shade Thorn. Okay, and now what we're going to do, we're going to place this right on the upper border of the black pencil. Kind of smoke this in. I'm following the shade that I created with the black pencil. Okay. And also on the lower lash line. So now I'm going to go and create a pretty thick line. You see that? That it's black and then brown. I am never afraid to go thicker on the lower lash line. This makes the eyes appear very big, and I like that. And sultry. Okay. Now I stretch this out a little longer out because I'm going to connect it with the crease. Let's do the other side. Brown. The pencil is black and the eyeshadow is brown. Yeah, it's this dark eyeshadow. Okay, so again. Okay, the upper border, following the same line, and don't cover the black. Just work above because we want to create this smoky effect, this gradient effect. So if we cover the black pencil, we will not achieve any gradient effect. Okay, I'm stretching this out a little bit more. And then working this with the same underneath on the lower lash line. Look how smoky this starts to look. Okay. Thank you! Woo! Thank you for the compliments. Okay. We're going to take the same eyeshadow with the same brush. I'm going to do the same in the inner corner. Okay, I'm blending this in and up. You see that? Going up and in. I love this so much because this is like, always when I see on Instagram, like makeup artists using these halo eye looks, I'm always stopping and looking at it. I love it. Okay, you see that? Really working it up, like towards the crease. Okay, a little bit more below lash line. You get nervous with working with eyeliner, not only you, everybody. Eyeliner is scary. Right, okay, just a little bit more. Now we want to connect the brown, the dark brown, with the upper eyeshadows and the crease. So I'm going back to the same brush that I've used before. Okay, let me check what's going on here because I see myself really only from far. Okay. First brush, blender into the dark shade. And now we want to give a little bit more depth and to connect the frame that we created with the upper eyeshadows. This is for more drama, you know? Mom. This is giving a lift to the eye. So kind of from the outer corner that I created before, I'm blending it inwards. I'm starting from the outer corner and then dragging this in into my crease. Now you can do the same thing also in the inner corner. I don't feel like doing it because I want to keep this stretch to the outer corner. I'm kind of working it in. And if you feel that is a little bit too harsh, you can always go back into this Jasper shade that we still didn't use. And this is like a transition between the dark and the lighter medium. And we can use this as a connection and to warm up the look. You see that? It looks like fire. Okay. Andre, you're helping them with questions? Okay. You see that? Look how the eye just opens up with that. So we have the dark shade here, and I went with the dark inside, and then I used Jasper, the bright color that is like an in-between darkness, and I blended this in. Okay, and then I'm using a little bit more of the first shade just to make sure that my transitions are really soft and blended out. Okay, sometimes you have to go and repeat some of the things you're doing, some of the steps to achieve a very beautiful blend, you know, very soft. Okay, I'm gonna go to the other side now, again with the dark. And then working from the outer corner, really the outer corner, it's not here, it's really at the outer point. It's already outside of my eye, it's not close to my eye. And then you're working this inwards towards the crease. You're going just towards the crease and dragging it in. You know what I see many times? People taking the brushes and pressing too harshly, and they're blending like a little bit aggressively, and then the pigment just vanishes, disappears, and there are a lot of stains. It's all over. I like to work a little bit more precisely with more pigmentation, because the technique of blending that I'm using is like painting. So I'm using so many shades to build the shape that I want to create, and then I'm blending it out and to connect it to my eye shape. Okay. Okay, and now Jasper to give us this warm, fiery hue to this look. Okay. You know, guys, that usually I'm not really planning exactly what I'm gonna do. I know, like, it's hard to improvise always, but somehow I create always something that I really like. Okay. What is left is to blend out the lower lash line, and then we're going to use the metallic eyeshadow on top in the center of the lid. So I'm going to take, again, that smaller smudger or precision brush, whatever you need for your lower lash line. And I'm using Jasper. I want this, you know, this kind of bright color under my eyes. And are you using this palette every day since you got it? You can hold the brush a little bit more too. Okay, I didn't see that. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, so I'm kind of connecting. Well, you know, you see this dark corner here and there. I want to connect. There's an empty space here, and I want just to connect those with Jasper. So just look at that. It's like fire. And I would say that this type of colors, they suit everyone, every eye color, every skin tone. And eye colors especially, if you have blue eyes, then orange, you know, is the complementary color, so it would just pop the blue. I have green eyes, so because of the red and the oranges, it's kind of also helping to pop the green. And with hazel and brown eyes, it will just give, you know, that contrast, because this is still very bright, okay? And then your brown eyes will look more subtle, but the eyeshadow will pop, which is great too. Okay. Crazy. Okay, now we're going to, are you ready for, thank you. Are you ready for the last step of the eyes? It's the metallic. So you can also use a damp brush or just your finger for my metallic eyeshadows to achieve this, you know, craziest foiled effect. You can also work, if you want like a saddle finish, you don't want it like eye shine for every day, then you can also use your finger, but just gently, just a thin layer of it, it's enough. What am I going to do? I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to dip my finger a couple of times, rotating it. And this is the shine of the eyeshadow, which is so crazy. All my eyeshadows are packed with the highest quality ingredients. You can really tell, you see. And also the matte eyeshadows, when you use them and you touch them, they feel like your favorite. Thank you. They're so soft and creamy that you can really easily blend them. Okay, so I'm kind of did you see that? Swiping this onto my center lid. And I have wrinkly eyelids, guys. If you don't have wrinkles on your eyes, even shinier. Lucky you. I was there no more. That's it. Okay, now I'm tapping with the residues I have on my finger around just to blend it in a little bit. Let me check what's going on here. Doing very good. You see, that's it. That's it. Another one for the other eye. One swipe. You see that? And then most of the product you just pack onto the center lid, and then with what's left, you're tapping around, and then you achieve this kind of halo effect with depth. And it was one layer. Let's put another one, just for fun. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. It's like glass lids.
Careful, Mari.
Woo! Okay. What we're gonna do now is to clean up. If you have any fallouts, it can happen. You know, I don't really have, but I like to have a clean, finish underneath my eyes. So you can use foundation or the concealer after you finish your eyes. I already have concealer on, so I will use just a little bit of foundation.
So right before she goes into showing how she's going to clean up the bottom of the eye, she got a question asking what happens if you go too far with the shimmer shade. So she's saying to put just a little bit of eyeshadow base on the finger, rub it to make a very thin layer, and then tap it to get some of that glitter off, and then that way you won't have excess. Then she's going to go back into cleaning up the under eye. She says you don't want a perfectly straight line, but you do want to clean it up. If it gets too straight as you clean it up, then you can go back in and blend it out again just a little bit.
Using, I'm going like straight, and then I'm following like the eyeshadow going up and then bending down. Now this line is pretty sharp and a little bit artificial. So what I like to use after this, I like to blend this a little bit with the transition eyeshadow. So I can go and take either the light one or this one even, or mix them. It depends on your skin tone. And you just take like a flat blender and you slightly kind of soften finish. This is a professional finish. That's very important for photo shoots. You can leave it sharp if you want to. It's your personal preference, but for photo shoots, it's always better to blend this a little bit to give this like an airbrush finish. Okay, that's it. Mascara, then we're gonna do the glow and maybe lips if we'll make it. What's the time, you guys? 9:05. Okay, we have another like 10 minutes. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's use mascara. Okay. Okay, so mascara now. Oh, I forgot to curl my lashes. I always do that, sorry. No, I always curl my lashes. I don't always forget. It sounded like I'm always doing it, always forgetting it. It's the Virgo in me explaining these things, you know. Okay. Lower lash line. You can have a bit of time. Yeah, sure. Okay, a little bit of. You don't have to put mascara on your lower lash line if you don't like that. I like it. It just opens my eyes. And it also kind of connects between. It looks a little bit more dramatic. But now I like it without the mascara down there. Sorry. I feel like I want to take it off. No, like in person, it's nice. Okay, next eye. Sorry. Okay, that's weird, you know? You have to be a dancer to release movements. Are you guys even with me? Are you doing mascara right now?
Yes, we are.
Yes. We are. Great. Okay. Almost done. I like this eye better without the mascara down there. So I'll leave it like this. One with a mistake and one without a mistake. Okay. Okay. But most of the times I do like it. I don't know. No. Okay. I hope you love this look. Okay. And now we are with the glow. I have used the cream blush in the Bloom. Oh my gosh, this is so dirty. I'm so sorry. Okay, that's the Bloom Face Palette. Blush and Glow. Woo! Blush and Glow palette. And in all of my glow and cheek palettes, I have the cream highlighters as the base for the powder highlighters to come on top, because I love this, and I'm pretty kind of known for the glow from within effect of the skin, like this natural glow that is not like, not flaky. It's super natural. Like, even though I'm going into like beaming glow sometimes, but it still looks like skin. You love the Bloom palette. This is really my everyday essential. You can also use, this is the cream blush. It looks pretty dark, but it's so amazing on all skin tones. It's great on, I'm wearing it right now. And the way I'm applying it, for lighter skins, you can just use your blush brush and rub it onto your cheeks. And for darker skins, you can use a finger or a makeup sponge and just apply it. It's so beautiful because it has this cherry shade. It looks fresh and it's buildable. It's very buildable, so you can really achieve any shade with it. I mean, not any shade, but any from subtle to super bold and colorful. Okay, you can also use it for your lips. I love that. Just gives you this, like, I just had a cherry sorbet lip. But I want to show you how to, my signature highlighting technique, because this is really, really important to me. I'm always teaching this, always talking about it. It's one of the most important things for me as a makeup mentor, teacher, to use the cream highlighter as the base for the powder highlighter. Let's do this. So you can use your finger also, and you can also use your sponge, your makeup sponge. You have to make sure that the sponge is a little bit damp. And then you pick up the cream highlighter. It's after the cream blush, right? The cream highlighter, and you're tapping this onto your highest cheekbones, just up and down, but tap, tap, tap. Don't move it around. We don't want to raise, the base that is underneath. So we're kind of layering and adding another layer of cream product onto your foundation. Okay, and this already gives like this natural dewy finish to the skin, and this is not sticky. It's not waxy. This is super lightweight and long wearing and nourishing. Okay, and then we can take a highlighter brush or just the blush brush and pick up, for example, the dual highlighter or just the plain impact powder, which is also a crushed crystal highlighter. So I'm starting with the dual glow that gives like a very dynamic shine. Look at my skin, looks like glass. Do you see that? And because it's a dual glow, it's kind of shifting from a champagne, tangerine. Okay, again. Okay, you see that? And it gives this hue with a glass glow. And then if you want to kind of, elevate, there's a question, right? A couple of questions, no? Thank you. If you want to elevate and turn it into a super beaming evening glam, and then you can just dip your finger or just a small highlighting brush. It's also possible. And you can just, focus only on the part of your highest cheekbone, like really here, and tap a little slightly around. You even look at this. This is crazy. It's just even, lifting your cheekbone. And so I have a question that is repeating. They want to know, how do you set under eyes if you have a lot of creases? And how do you use cream blush if you set your base with powders? Sorry. Oh my god. Okay, second question. I will answer the second first. So to my cream highlighters, you can always use, and it's even I suggest using this, especially on people that love baking and love using a lot of powder, because it also has powder inside my formula. It kind of melts into the powder, and it's not oily at all. There's no oil. It's oil free. It's just a perfect layer of a emollient that is not waxy. It's kind of jelly, not really jelly. I can't really explain it, but it's kind of like, imagine a dry wax, but it's not a wax, with pigment and with nourishing ingredients inside, and super lightweight and thin, and it melts beautifully into powder and foundation. You know that in foundation, you also, most of the times, you have powder as well inside. So, you know, because when you use powder highlighters that are topped on powder, it looks very powdery. It doesn't really look glowy, and there's no lid from within at all. You know what I mean? So you need the cream highlighter as kind of the magnet that sits on your base with or without powder, and then comes the powder highlighter that also melts into your skin. It's just the best way to achieve like this glorious glow. Okay, what was the first question? Sorry. How do you set it under the eyes? How do you set under the eyes? I like to use a matte primer underneath the eyes. If you like have a lot of wrinkles and your concealer is creasing, and use a damp sponge to set with powder, but really a little bit right in the beginning. Yeah, and then it depends also on the concealer you're using. The formula is really, really, really the key point in if it creases or not. But it also really sometimes depends on your skin type. If you're really oily under your eyes, it will crease, and then use just a mattifying primer underneath, but not the silicone ones, the ones that are more like skincare. I have one, the magic primer. I'm so sorry. It's this one. It's so good. So good. You will love it. Try it out. Okay, where are we now? I can finish up with my nude lipstick, and then we can answer a couple of questions. So this is my I Need a Nude lipstick, and this is Michelle. Do I feel like Michelle? Let's see. A little bit cool toned. Let's go for Leon, maybe. Okay, that's a little bit lighter. I'm crazy about nude lipsticks when my eyes are super dramatic, because it gives, the attention stays at your eyes, and the nude lipsticks are just so, periodic and 60s Sophia Loren style, Brigitte Bardot. Love it. Okay. It's a great color. This is the I Need a Nude lipstick. There are 20 shades of nudes that I've created, and this is the number 2B Liron. Yeah. So that's it. And what is that? There's no ship. It's a car. Sorry, guys. Okay, look at my glowing skin. Look at this. I like that. If you feel like it's too much, you can always use a powder on top just to blend it down. Are there some questions? I had so much fun. My hair is just, I'm sorry. I always have an issue with my hair. There is one question. Yeah. How do you contour a crooked bumpy nose? Again? How do you contour a crooked bumpy nose? A crooked bumpy nose? Don't say that. Okay, bumpy is right when it's like a little bit like here, like prominent, then I also like I always contour my nose. I also feel like I have a little bit of bumpiness here, so I'm going in with a medium brush and contouring on the sides, like continuing the line from above, so the thinner shape on top, and continuing it here, and also lifting it from below, and it appears smaller. Do you see that, the difference? Crooked when you have like you know, some bone structure here coming out and being prominent, you cannot really contour that. Just leave it as is, because you cannot contour something in front, so you will just have a brown spot in the middle of your face. You cannot do that. But if you have the bone coming out from here, then you can, you know, you can just contour on the sides of it, only there. Yeah.
And another one, how do you apply these techniques to hooded eyes?
Oh, this technique for hooded eyes is amazing. What I explained in the beginning was there were some great tips for hooded eyes, because I was working always with my open eyes. I also have like hooded eyes already now, you know, like I didn't have them, but now I do. And so you just, you know, work with your open eyes, and with the medium darker shades, work above the fold, and you connect it above the fold, and then this will lift the lid and open up your eyes. This is exactly what you have to do with hooded eyes. It's going to look amazing on hooded eyes.
And also any tips for monolid eyes to make it look bigger?
Yes, monolid eyes, I would definitely recommend using darker shades on the center of the lid and building it up like I did here on the outer corner, to do this across the whole lid, and this will open up the eye. And the lower lash line, do exactly what I did, and also continue with the darker shades across the whole lash line. This will open up the eye, and then use in a pencil, like a light skin, I don't know, a nude pencil on your waterline. This will open up the eyes.
And maybe the last one, what should you consider when looking for a perfect lipstick shade?
Again, sorry, I just saw something. Not when you're 40, I am 50. Okay, so don't come to me with your 40s. Look, wrinkles. Woo! What was the question? Sorry.
What should you consider when looking for your perfect nude lipstick shade?
Okay, if you're looking for your perfect nude shade, lipstick shade, and what you have to consider is your skin tone. But also your lip color. I mean, in nude, it's really, there's no perfect rule to find your perfect nude lipstick. But you can follow by shade, first of all, understanding your undertone of your skin tone. So, for example, if you're like more, if you have like yellow undertone of your skin tone, so usually the nudes that are more into pinkish, with a pinkish undertone, they're like giving you a little bit of, you know, a pop of color, and they're still kind of.
So this is the final look.
Nudish.
I am this.
Because when you wear a nude that is completely
I don't know, I feel
pale,
like,
and you look pale, this is not a nude that complements
I feel like I
you.
did a good
You need a nude that it looks
But
light,
more-
but it gives you a pop of color still.
Now
So you have
I
to
feel like I
look
want
for
to
the
support
opposite of
Natasha
your skin
Denona,
tone. And if
getting
you're
to
like
know
more
her
red
story,
tone, neutral
and
cool, and red toned,
just
look
how
more
she's
for the kind of corally,
incorporated everything
beigey nudes.
from,
This
you
will
know,
give
just
you
the
like this
formula
balance.
to the science behind everything, and just the fact
if you're
that
warm, like more, you know, warm is
she's amazing,
between
and
red
I love
and
what she
yellow,
stands
and
for.
you're kind of so neutral that you can wear anything. So then it depends only on you if you're light or dark. And if you wear a
Okay,
too
I'm gonna
light
take my after
lip
selfie
color
so
on
that I
very
can
dark lips,
post
it
my
can
pictures
look
for the giveaway.
weird,
I'm
but
gonna-
you can do that if you wear an ombre technique, so darker on your corners and contour, and then in the center
I should be looking at you guys
here.
here. I can't stop looking at myself. Sorry.
But there was another question, but
I'm
how
gonna
do you
post
use
my
something?
selfies.
You see that?
How do you use the powder highlighter over the cream without it looking?
It doesn't, because the powder highlighter is not really a powder, not mine. They are pure glass like crystals and pearls. They're transparent and they're crushed. And then when you apply them on top of the cream, they stick to the cream and they give you that like this glaze. You know what I mean? So it's not a powder and matte, and then it becomes really cakey. You're right. But this is not my formula. My formula is so clear and shiny. So it's just a perfect combination. Okay.